Hi, my name's Abby McLaughlin. I'm a junior at Montana Western and I'm studying environmental science. Composting is taking organic material like food waste, lawn waste, cardboard, anything that's carbonaceous, and turning those materials back into soil. The composting project started actually with me. It was a student initiative. How can we eliminate this waste and make something good about it on our campus? What if we were to compost our food waste? And I started my freshman year working in the facilities office. And I was mowing lawns and just realizing that all these grass clippings, all these leaves we were just throwing away. Then I worked in the dining hall the next year. And that's when it really got started. We're looking at the facility, seeing how can we get students to understand the values that this has and what do we do with it? Dillon is such a big ranching community that we're hoping that once the composting gets started, we can collect campus's food waste, grass clippings, hopefully getting it onto ranches. Compost is gold. So many nutrients, such good soil. Yeah, we're just hoping to benefit our community, benefit the ranchers, benefit our campus, and hopefully it's a win-win-win all the way around.
My name is Tara Jones. I'm the Director of Dining Services here at the University of Montana Western, and I've been in my role for 3 years now. I think Western could benefit from a composting program in that as an educational institution that really holds itself around experiential learning, I'd love for that connection to take place from what's happening, what students are learning in the classroom to what's lived out in the dining service. Both the things our students and customers see from a pre-consumer or consumer side to behind the line as part of our operation in whole. So what happens in the kitchen, in the dish room, behind the scenes. Keeping in mind for all of us that we're a part of something much bigger and greater. So our trash compactor requires Dillon Disposal to pick up 1 roll-off a week. And about a third of that is probably food waste. The composting initiative in dining services and what we're working towards really started because we started renovating the dining space. And if you have been a guest in our operation, you just scrape your plate into an open trash can. So you can see everyone else's waste. It's not very appealing. With forethought in mind, hoping we could build out some sort of composting effort, we created just a more enclosed trash collection space in the renovated dining room. And that will make just a better dining experience for students. And with that, we thought, well, why not at the same time think about separating this trash and getting the compost set aside and hopefully find a way to put that into some sort of regenerative option. But there's so many different ways we can get this food waste into something positive and something, again, more useful. So collaboration is, I think, maybe the most important and the hardest part of doing a project at this scale. When we really do want to do something broad and big, I think we're shooting for the stars with this project. But when the time is right and there's a system, which we're also trying to effort in and work towards, collaborate with, bring people together, feeding them here in dining is a great way for me to say, I'll host. Come on everyone, and let's just sit around a table and talk ideas. From there, we need a space to do all this composting. And that's hard too, because who do you collaborate with? We could collaborate with the city government, the county government, local landowners who are interested in this project. There's also collaboration opportunities that we haven't even tapped into. Thinking about our local grocery stores or local restaurants, maybe even the food bank, if they're having food they're unable to serve to community members in need, we can offload that and get it into something, again, more positive and more useful for our community and, gosh, for our world.
Hi, I'm Nicole Jarvis. I'm here at the Beaverhead Honey Company. I'm currently leasing about 4 acres of land from the Beaverhead Honey Company. I have started a local organic garden. We call it Bee Haven Gardens. This is my first season out here. This year I'm just trying to improve the soil. Planted cover crop, did a little bit of vegetable production just to get an idea of what my soil can handle. My background is in organic agriculture. I am determined to keep this as natural as possible. Currently in the process of going through the transition to organics. And the number one way to do that is by composting and turning that compost into gold. You feed your soil feeds your plants feed you, it feeds the animals, and it's just this incredible natural cycle of health and regeneration. It's such an old method of feeding the soil. I'm currently in a master's program, and we're reading a book by a guy who brought the idea of composting to the West. Everything he says in this book that he wrote in 1940 is still true today about the health of the soil and how your greatest asset is your soil. You compost it down and then it just turns into this incredibly beautiful natural fertilizer. It's such an easy concept and such a great way to use any of your waste. It's never a waste, it always goes back into the earth, and then I turn it into compost that then goes right back into my soil. And once you start looking at waste in that way, you realize that it's a win-win. The answers are endless as to how a composting program at Western is just like the tip of the iceberg of how we can really help our own community. Enriching the soil, providing an avenue to get rid of waste. I know so many gardeners who would love to have homemade compost available to put into their gardens. There are so many good answers about how this could benefit the Dillon community. A local source for compost, a local source for organic material to feed back into your soil. So you're really improving a lot around this community and just in general for the environment. Well, I would love to do some outreach, be the voice of just a farmer who would use the product. Just from my own experience over the last 25 years, seeing how important it is to use that waste and put it back into the soil. I also have 4 acres that I would love to see the end product come out here and feed my soil. You want to bring me a dump truck full of composted food waste? Absolutely. My part could definitely be, let's talk about it, helping just to see it in action. And it's really just networking, like, how can we work together? What do you have that I could use and what do I have that you could use? Let's be a community. Let's do this together.